These are my battles in whiteout survival. Every report, every clash, every desperate stand. I take them beyond the numbers and bring them to life with the trolls of troll kind and the warriors of my alliance. From bear traps to Crazy Joe, from brothers in arms to state versus state, these stories step beyond battle stats. They capture the chaos, the courage, and the moments that made every tactic worth it. This is where imagination meets the battlefield, where my army of trolls and the heroes at my side are remembered, not just as names on a report, but as legends in the storm. My name is Frankie, and I welcome you to the troll-kind whiteout battle stories.
DanDaMan's burden. We stood against the storm, but Crazy Joe is never done. Snow screamed like a living thing across the tundra, clawing at the Alliance HQ walls. The ground shook beneath the boots of Better Two Dragon warriors as Crazy Joe's army came crashing forward in a frenzy of steel and frost. At the heart of it all stood DanDaMan, cloak whipping in the blizzard, voice cutting through the storm like a battle horn.
Hold the line! Form on my mark. Archers, fire on the ridgeline. Now!
Flaming arrows hissed into the whiteout. Most sputtered useless in the gale. A few struck true, flaring against Crazy Joe's advancing wave. Grimbone, teeth bared, growled over the wind.
Your plan's falling apart, Dan. Let me loose. I'll carve through their ranks.
Dan grabbed his arm, iron in his eyes.
You charge out there, you'll vanish in the snow like the rest. Stick to the plan.
Grimbone spat, but held. The first cracks widened quickly. Snow swallowed traps meant to cripple the bandits. Torches sputtered in the gale. Joe's troops laughed a high, manic sound as they broke through choke points Dan thought unassailable. From the left flank, Freya's voice rose, hoarse with frostbite.
We can't hold them much longer. They'll bury us alive.
Dan's jaw tightened. Doubt coiled in his chest, but his words cut through like steel.
Then we claw back to daylight. With me.
The cost rose with every breath. Troops staggered, some retreating into the HQ. The ground slicked red beneath the snow.
Your plan is killing us!
Shouted Little Dragon, loosing a volley before ducking behind a shield. Dan's voice cracked, but he shouted louder.
No. The plan is what's keeping us alive.
But even he wasn't sure. Then came Crazy Joe's mad trick. Her army reeled back, retreating with eerie discipline. For a heartbeat, the Alliance cheered. But then screams. The retreat was a lure. Alliance warriors had charged into the open tundra, where the storm thickened like a shroud. Visibility dropped to nothing. Shapes disappeared into the white, cut down in silence. Dan's voice faltered.
I miscalculated.
The HQ quaked. Supplies were nearly gone. The Alliance teetered on collapse, and then desperation sparked something new. Dan's head snapped up. Crazy Joe thrived on order turned chaotic. So what if they fought with chaos itself?
No more lines. No more formations.
He roared.
Scatter! Strike where they don't expect hit and vanish.
The Alliance hesitated, then moved like wildfire. Little Dragon hurled fire into snowbanks, setting traps that turned white powder into burning walls. Freya, voice ragged, rallied broken units with words that rang louder than the storm. Frankie and her smaller troll special forces slipped through shadows, ambushing from the rear. For the first time, Crazy Joe's grin faltered. The final clash was a storm within a storm. Steel met steel, voices bellowed over the blizzard, and the Alliance struck from every direction at once. Dan's voice carried above it all, fierce and unyielding.
This isn't my plan anymore. It's ours.
With one last surge, the Alliance buried Crazy Joe's forces beneath fire, frost, and fury. Her scream of laughter turned into silence as her army shattered. The field grew still. The only sound was the hiss of snow on blood. The Alliance had won, but barely. Beyond the headquarter walls, the tundra glowed with ruin. Several Alliance cities lay burning in the distance, orange embers clawing at the night sky. The smoke carried the bitter tang of ash and scorched wood, a reminder of every wave that had broken against them. The fires lit the snow in haunting hues, red and black where there should have been white. Grimbone dropped to one knee, muttering,
By the Frost Mother's teeth, we lived.
Freya clutched her side, her voice cracking between relief and disbelief.
We should be cheering. Why does it feel like a funeral?
Dan stood apart, his gaze fixed on the flames staining the horizon. His plan had saved the HQ, but the cost was painted across the tundra. Even in ashes, the Alliance would endure, because that was the only choice. Then the storm shifted, carrying with it a sound that cut through the crackle of fire and the moans of the wounded. A laugh. Low, jagged, unmistakable. Every head turned. Some swore it was just the wind, but Dan's hand tightened on his blade, knuckles white. His voice was low, ragged, but it carried a weight that silenced even the storm.
She's not gone. She's waiting. And she'll be back for us.
The victory tasted sharp as steel. It felt like relief laced with dread.